The penultimate Supermoto Grand Prix of 2014 comes to northern Estonia and the town of Tabasalu, about 15 kilometres west of the capital, Tallinn. In SM2, Assiri Kingalin has a 15-point advantage over Fabrizio Bartolini, with Toni Klem 11 points further back in third. And in S1, Mauno Hermunen arrives here as the new World Championship leader, but the Finn can't afford to relax as Thomas Chareyere is just 4 points behind. So any slip-ups at this stage of the title race could be costly to either rider. Before we see how it all plays out, though, let's take a quick look at what happened last time out in Castelletto. Mauno Hermunen took the whole shot from Ivan Lazzarini, Thomas Chareyere and Adrian Chareyere in the first race in Castelletto. And it was pretty much unchanged for the majority of the race. The first four guys toying with each other in the early stages of the moto. Mauno Hermunen, though, started to pull clear gradually on the 131, the S.H.R TM. No change in the next three positions as Chareyere was there in second. Bernd Hiemer, back for the first time in a long time, found himself having a battle with Lukas Hollbacher. Hollbacher taking him for fifth place as the German ran wide, and the two riders continued their battle until the end of the race. Good to see Bernd Hiemer back, though. But Mauno Hermunen was an easy winner in race one. Lazzarini was second, Thomas Chareyere was third. Race two, it was Mauno Hermunen with another whole shot. On board with Lukas Hollbacher, number 72. Just well placed there, and around about 5th, 6th place. As they disappeared over the far side of the circuit, though, Hollbacher saw a bit of red mist, tried to make a move down the inside of Bernd Hiemer, lost the front, went down, and that was him right at the back of the field. So falling from 5th position. Thomas Chareyere, meanwhile, he fell on the second lap and was having to carve his way through the field. First past Eduardo Gente, then Luca Brambilla. As Lazzarini challenged successfully Mauno Hermunen, he made his way through to go from second to first. And the Finn then was wondering how to solve a problem like Lazzarini. Lazzarini was pretty confident around this Castelletto circuit, though, as Thomas Chareyere found himself at the inside of Edgardo Barella. Eventually got through into 6th place, though, before the checkered flag fell. But it was a win, the first race win and a first overall victory for Ivan Lazzarini. And your podium was Lazzarini, Mauno Hermunen second, Adrian Chareyere was third. And in terms of the title race, the red plate was handed to Mauno Hermunen, the new championship leader, after 5 rounds. It's a fairly short start straight here in Tabasalu, the first turn being 90 degrees. For another short straight, takes us into turn 2, this time a 180 degree right. Another short straight back in the opposite direction takes us to the longest turn on the track, turn 3, a long left-hander. So the left-hand side of the tyre will be getting chewed up if the temperatures start to heat up here in Estonia. Exit there into turn 4, another right. And then as soon as you get onto the fat part of the tyre, we go under the bridge, hard on the brakes, turn left into the off-road section. Nice and loose on top, hard and slick underneath. Little step up coming out of that left-hander, takes us through to the banked turn, takes us down the longest straight in the off-road section, over a step up, and then a bit of a rhythm section. Double, triple here if you're lucky. Either way, you end up in this right-hander. 2 lines, split section. Inside, it's slower in, but quicker out. Then we're back onto the asphalt. Short straight through a 90-degree turn, another short straight through another 90-degree turn, takes us back down the straight, And the start-finish straight just there, and the finish line just here. That's a lap of Tabasalu. Toni Klem took his first career pole and used it effectively to win race 1. Milan Sitniatski narrowly edged out Fabrizio Bartolini for second in the first race as Yuri Guadla and Asiri Kingelin rounded out the top 5. This is race 2, and Toni Klem with another whole shot on the 111. Bartolini second, Sitniatski third, Guadla and Kingelin running out the top 5. Through the first couple of corners though, and Guadla already up to third place. Klem, though, leading through the flip-flops. Bartolini second, Guadla third, Sitniatski and Kingelin still there in 5th place, the championship leader. Through the off-road section, and Toni Klem, victorious in Moto number 1, trying to pull clear of everybody in Moto number 2 in the early stages. Bartolini there, Sitniatski third, Guadla 4th, Kingelin in 5th position, so no change in that respect, but Sitniatski on the charge here. Looking to go around the outside of Bartolini, who was slow in. Normally would be quicker out, but Sitniatski takes the second place away from the Italian. So Klem, Sitniatski, Bartolini, now your top 3. And Kingelin finding his way up into 4th place past Guadla. And looking to go after Bartolini as well. Can't afford to leave the door open just there. And Kingelin, a hard move down the inside. And he moves neatly up into 3rd place, passing his closest rival in the SM2 Championship chase. So Kingelin now then up into 3rd place. And going after the 121 of Milan Sitniatski. Guadla just starting to lose pace here on the 258 in 5th position. But Toni Klem though looking pretty assured at the front. Just behind them, the battle going on there. And oh, that is Guadla. So Guadla out of the race, picks himself up, but out of 5th position. So we've got a whole go. Oh, who's that going down? That's Lapini. So Lapini in a battle there with Jaros and Kevin Fagra, throwing it out with a few laps to go. Guadla and Forsten. Forsten just moving wide, and that was Sitniatski there, just parked at the side of the track. So Guadla moving up into 5th place. Guadla still there, finding a way back past Forsten, having another look down the inside though, and he moves into 4th place. So Guadla 4th, oh, and then loses the back end. So Guadla out at the end of the start straight. Sami Sausala looking good here all of a sudden. Just behind Forsten on the 177. He's in 5th place at the moment. Oh, not for much longer though, because he barged his way down the inside. 4 laps to go. Bartolini 3rd. Here's Kingelin. He's up into 2nd. Looking good there. This will be good for his championship. He lost some points to Bartolini in the first race. He'll pull a couple back if he stays there in race 2. But Toni Klem leading the way on the MTR KTM. And it's a perfect day in Estonia. He was victorious in the time training session. He's a winner in race 1 and race 2. Takes his first overall of the season as well. So the second win of the day. Overall results: Klem, Bartolini, Kingelin, Sausala and Kevin Fagra 5th overall. And the podium here in Estonia looks like this. 3rd overall for Asiri Kingelin, Bartolini 2nd, and Toni Klem will stand on the top step of the podium for the first time. But the red plate still belongs to Asiri Kingelin as he continues to lead the championship. It was 15 points before he arrived here. It's now down to 13, but that's still not a bad gap to have going into the final round. Let's hear from our winner, Toni Klem.
Yeah, this weekend was really good for me. Yesterday I take pole position from time practice, and today 2 win. And there's a lot of friends watching. This is my home race, and yeah, I'm really happy about that.
So in the championship standings then, Kingelin now 13 points clear of Bartolini with 1 round to go, but Klem's 2 wins have put him back in contention as well. He's just 1 point behind Bartolini. Sitniatski and Guadla round out the top 5. Mauno Hermunen starts from pole with Thomas Chareyere and even Lazzarini alongside him, and the battle resumes in the title race as Hermunen has a 4-point lead over Thomas Chareyere with 4 races still to run. S1, race 1, lights go out, down into turn 1, and it's Mauno Hermunen with the whole shot. Thomas Chareyere second, Lazzarini third, on board with Lazzarini as he edges out Thomas Chareyere on the exit of the turn and slots neatly into second position. Ravaglia there in 4th place, Adrian Chareyere 5th, Pavel Kmar just behind him in 6th place, but Chareyere back down the inside of Lazzarini and back into second, going after his nearest rival in the championship. Thomas Chareyere going after Mauno Hermunen. Riders trying to sort themselves out in the early stages of this first lap. Hermunen leading the way, Chareyere second in the off-road part of the circuit. Chareyere, Adrian trying to find a way up the inside of Lazzarini, but to no avail. Tripling at the end of the rhythm section, Mauno Hermunen and Thomas Chareyere, that's where they're making ground on their rivals. No one else really getting that so cleanly. But Mauno Hermunen, though, down the start-finish straight, leading the way from Thomas Chareyere. And this is going to be an intense battle as Chareyere looks down the inside. Whoa, no room. Well, there wasn't room, but he finds a way through and nudges the elbow into the side of Mauno Hermunen. Takes the lead away from the flying Finn. Well, if it stays like this, the points gap would be down from 4 points to just 1 going into the second race. But Mauno Hermunen, he will not let Thomas Chareyere out of his sights here. Looking for a way through. Both riders going tight. Thomas Chareyere, though, trying to defend his very slight advantage. Mauno Hermunen looks to go round the outside. Will he have the tighter line going into the exit of the turn here? He does. Backs out of the challenge. Could have taken Chareyere wide, so a little bit of respect there from Mauno Hermunen as he sits there in that second position. So Chareyere, Hermunen, Lazzarini, the top 3. Adrian Chareyere 4th, Pavel Kmar lurking in the distance in 5th position. Mauno Hermunen, though, he cannot afford to let Thomas Chareyere out of his sights here. Lazzarini in 3rd, Adrian Chareyere in 4th. As they enter the back straight, how far is Pavel Kmar back? Oh, about the whole length of the start-finish straight. Pavel Kmar back in 5th position. Lazzarini and Adrian Chareyere battling over the final podium place here. That's them there, number 30 and number 5, 3rd and 4th. So the L30 Honda and the Fast Wheels Aprilia rider. These guys have been battling for many, many years. Oh, slight mistake there from Chareyere. Wasn't clean out of that left-hander. Just lost him a little bit of ground. And Kmar looking like he'd closed in a little bit there. Maybe he's made a mistake all by himself. Yeah, he has, because he's just dropped off the radar a little bit in that back corner out of sight. So Adrian Chareyere just needs to regroup a little bit here in 4th position, number 5. Here's Peter Voracek. He's in 9th place on the S.H.R. Honda, team owner, team manager for the S.H.R. team. Pavel Kmar definitely closing, look. Around about the halfway point of the race. So the number 71 going after Adrian Chareyere, number 5 on the 833 Racing Team machine. This is going to be the battle for 4th place. Thomas Chareyere, though, the race leader, has done a good job of disposing of the challenge from Mauno Hermunen on the S.H.R. TM, and the factory TM here, number 4, got a few seconds in hand. There's Ravaglia going through. He's in 6th place, so after that fast start, just finds himself down in 6th. Here's Mauno Hermunen, S.H.R. TM mounted. A few laps to go, around about 10 seconds down on our race leader. Ooh, here's the battle for 4th. Adrian Chareyere, well, he was looking a little bit iffy earlier on in the race, and Pavel Kmar has caught him. Looks like he's going to make a move. Easy in the end for Kmar. He even had time to look at Chareyere to see if he was going to cut back, but he wasn't able to. And Kmar now, with 4 laps to go, will be in a bit of a battle here, trying to hold off Adrian Chareyere in that battle for 4th place. Might have to let Lazzarini go as well in the process. Adrian Chareyere trying to find a way through, but not able to. Travnicek having a good ride as well. So Travnicek, oh, down the inside, but getting his front wheel just caught in the rear wheel of Ravaglia there. Ravaglia managing just to hold on in 6th place. Checkered flag goes out though, and it's a win for Thomas Chareyere. Mauno Hermunen will have to settle for 2nd. Even Lazzarini 3rd. K-Mar did hold on for 4th in the end. Adrian Chareyere was 5th in Moto number 1. So just 1 point separating now Mauno Hermunen and Thomas Chareyere as they head into race 2.
Team S.H.R have 2 main sponsors. One is Silicon, the British company, Silicon Engineering, and of course Michelin, which give us very good support with the tires. We have really good tires. Our best rider is Mauno Hermunen, which one leading for the moment the championship for 4 points. I think it's quite good, and he's a reigning champion from last year. And also I ride myself, but this year I don't have so good results. Because I get quite bad injury 2 years ago and still I have trouble with my leg. I have a broken still fibula and I have to go to surgery after the season and fix it properly, and maybe it will be better for the next year.
Winning the championship last year didn't change my life a lot. Of course it's nice that I won it because I've been trying to win it for like 5 years now, and finally I got it. So it's nice to be here in Estonia. It's a special GP for me. It's like home race, and I hope it'll be good like last year. Last year I got the championship a bit too easy. I won 9 first races of the season, and this year it's been harder to do it. So in the first race we struggled with suspension setup. Then we got it a bit better and better and better, and now we are where we should be. And I've got some wins this season, and now I'm leading with 4 points, so I hope I can keep the lead till the end and be a champion again.
Lights out for the start of S1 race 2, and immediately on board here with Ivan Lazzarini. He tried to dive down the inside of Thomas Chareyere. Sitting there just behind Chareyere, Mauno Hermunen, the whole shot guy though, 131. Oh, Ravaglia out at turn 2, number 8 on the SM2 Honda. Thomas Chareyere though, already at the inside of Mauno Hermunen. Challenge for the lead early on lap 1. Lazzarini 3rd, K-Mar 4th, Adrian Chareyere in 5th. But Thomas Chareyere holding the inside. It's not only the battle for the lead, it's battle for the championship as well. Lazzarini 3rd, but running wide. K-Mar at the inside. So K-Mar runs up to 3rd. Lazzarini now 4th, who we're on board with. Over the line though, Thomas Chareyere leading the way. Number 4, 131, Mauno Hermunen 2nd. So 2 TMs, but it's the factory TM of Chareyere leading the way from the S.H.R machine. Lazzarini down the inside to 3rd, takes them both wide. And Adrian Chareyere 3rd, 4th, but around the outside, goes back into 3rd place. So 2 riders in one go there for Adrian Chareyere, and it was all because Lazzarini was just a little bit too aggressive down the inside of K-Mar. Ran wide, took the Czech rider wide as well. But look at this, Lazzarini and Adrian Chareyere and Pavel K-Mar getting duffed up all over the place. Gets squeezed there as well. So this battle for 3rd place, really intense at the moment. Just like the battle for the lead, because Mauno Hermunen back in front. Thomas Chareyere now pushed back to 2nd position. This will take it all square again going into the final round. Chareyere having a look down the inside of Hermunen. He's got the drive, comes out the other side, leading the way. Best race of the year so far between these two guys, surely. So Thomas Chareyere leading the way. Mauno Hermunen in 2nd. Into the off-road section, through the final right. Both riders following each other through that little straight, back onto the off-road, onto the tarmac. And it's still Chareyere, got a half a bike more than Mauno Hermunen coming down the start straight this time around, as did Lazzarini. Looks charging down the inside of K-Mar. Back up into 4th place, behind the number 5, Fast Wheels Aprilia of Adrian Chareyere. Oh, there's Karaniatov and Travnicek. So Travnicek trying to find his way past the Bulgarian. Thomas Chareyere double, triples his way into the rhythm section. continuing to fend off the challenge from Mauno Hermunen, who's got the inside line. Makes it stick this time. Again, too much of a gentlemanly conduct going on there from Mauno Hermunen. He would have swung wide. That's what Chareyere would have done. He wouldn't have thought twice, that's for sure, the number 4. Guess it depends how much you want it. In the end, Mauno Hermunen, well, we heard him in his race report. He had it too easy last year. 9 wins out of 9 in the first 9 motos. Been a lot harder this year. Battle for 3rd. Even Lazzarini, number 30, trying to go after Adrian Chareyere. Just behind them, Karanyatov still hanging on to 6. Travnicek just behind him and finds a way up the inside. So Travnicek through. There's Ravaglia. He's now in 8th place on the SM2 Honda. Oh no, Hermunen out. So a problem for Hermunen. He goes out a 2nd, rejoins. Looks like he's been passed by all 3 guys there. So he's back in 5th place. Travnicek just behind him in 6th. So Thomas Chareyere taking a quick look back, wondering where on earth Hermunen has gone. He's back in 5th place with a lot of work to do. So here's Thomas Chareyere, Adrian Chareyere, Lazzarini, K-Mart, Mauno Hermunen, Travnicek in that order. Travnicek having a look down the inside of the fin as well. So Hermunen really needs to just regroup here. Battle for 2nd coming on here. Lazzarini into the rhythm section, double triples his way past Adrian Chareyere. Great bit of riding there from the Italian on the L30 racing machine. Suddenly, Adrian Chareyere under the caution, 3rd. K-Mart, has he got through here on the right-hander? Yes. So suddenly, K-Mart back up to 3rd. Adrian Chareyere being pushed back to 4th, but Mauno Hermunen on the charge as well. So Hermunen suddenly finds himself back in 3rd place. Adrian Chareyere, number 5, is in 4th as we head into the off-road section. So clear track ahead of him now, Mauno Hermunen. Oh, loses the front over the bars, and he's out again. So out of 3rd place this time for Mauno Hermunen. And how expensive is that in terms of the title race? Because Thomas Chareyere leads on the final lap, and he couldn't get his bike started, Mauno Hermunen, and he limps home. He will pick up 10 points for 11th place if he finishes there, but how expensive is that in terms of the championship? Well, we'll soon find out, because the checkered flag goes out to Thomas Chareyere. He wins race 2. It's a perfect day in Estonia for him. Lazzarini was 2nd. Travnicek got back to 3rd in the end. And 4th was K-Mart, 5th was Adrian Chareyere, 11th for Mauno Hermunen. In terms of the overall Grand Prix result itself though, Thomas Chareyere, wow, what a day it's been for him. He wins the overall, even Lazzarini 2nd, K-Mart 3rd, Travnicek 4th, Adrian Chareyere 5th, Mauno Hermunen 6th. He will be disappointed with that. Podium time then. 3rd overall this weekend, Pavel K-Mart. 2nd, even Lazzarini. 3rd, or your overall winner, I should say, Thomas Chareyere. Stands proudly on the top step of the podium. It's not just about the overall win here this weekend. It's more than that for this guy here, Thomas Chareyere, because he arrived here 2nd in the championship. He leaves here as the new championship leader, and by a considerable margin as well. Yeah, it was a perfect weekend for me. Yesterday we did a good job for today, and that was crucial. Today I did 2 very good races. In the first heat I wasn't able to take the whole shot, but after 2 laps I took the lead and I won by a good margin. In the second race, just a little bit harder, so I tried to play with Mauno in the off-road part, and it worked because I made him a little bit crazy and he fell down 2 times. I'm very happy because I got a lot of points. I'd like to thank everybody and say hi to everybody, especially my fiancée who is pregnant. World Championship standings look like this then in S1. Thomas Chareyere overturns a 4-point deficit into a 14-point margin with just 1 round remaining in what was an expensive weekend for Mauno Hermunen, who now slips to 2nd. Lazzarini's 3rd, Adrian Chareyere 4th, and K-Martin's 5th. And in the manufacturer's chase, TM 6 points away from wrapping up another manufacturer's title. And the top 6 remain unchanged after Grand Prix number 6. Well, that's it from Estonia. Join us next time for the final SMGP of the year when we go to Tabasalu in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for watching. My name's Paul Malin. We'll see you then. Bye for now.